Hey everybody, it's Richard from iSalon Coaching again. How are you? Headphones are on, so we're talking business. In my office again. I had a message on Friday. I was explaining to you how I was going to change things around, and hey, that's cool. I got a lot of messages from people, which I love, which means people actually hear my videos and don't just think it's some muppet doing some stuff. So here we go. So yeah, here we go. So this is really important to me. This is what I do this time of year. So when I'm a salon owner, this is what I do. So let's just say we have a typical salon. A, B, C, D. That's stylist A, stylist B, stylist C, stylist D. All therapists. These are in your salon. And as you know, it's got two little ones down here. These are your juniors. These are the ones who are maybe receptionist or junior, not big on earning money. So 2016, your staff member A took 120, staff member B took 100, staff member C took 140, staff member C took 130. Your two little juniors or your receptionists took 20 and 10 respectively between them. That gives you a grand total of 520,000 for the year, which when we end in probably, I think it's 10 days time, that's where you're going to be at. Now, around now, you should know roughly what you're going to do in the next 10 days, so you should know how you're going to finish. And then you need to figure out how you're going to reverse engineer what you want to do next year. So this time next year, how much do you want in the bank and where do you want to be? I've gone for the big boy, 600,000, which looks like a massive jump into where we want to get to. It looks seems huge, hey, but what we decided to do was it's not that big if you break it down. So what we're going to do, our target for this time next year, I want an extra 80 grand in my bank, and 80,000 with the same staff. I'm not going to increase my staff through there. We can start talking cleverly about more clients, more spend, or whatever it may be to get that number. But it's not as big as you think. And it's a huge amount when you do small little bites in your salon as an owner, which you're called to do, and get a massive change. Just going off topic a little bit, I got a phone call last week from a color company. So one of the big boys contacted me to do a show. So which has been awesome if you're one of these color people, salon owners that would have got to see me live on stage. I sort of rejected the offer, as in turn it down, wasn't really for me. He wanted me to perform and entertain in front of these people. I said, you know, my singing's awful, and my juggling, I can only do three balls. Um, I personally believe now that when you go to a seminar that's put on to learn business, I don't think you want knowledge anymore. I think back in the day, you wanted to learn one thing, and if you could learn one thing, you were happy. I think nowadays we could Google that one thing and not waste, 8 hours of our day off sitting down in a room where we never sit. We stand and we move. That's why I have an office like this where I literally have a computer I can stand up on. I think we're movable people. I think we want to go on courses now where we don't want to learn one thing. We actually want to learn as much as we possibly can. Um, it's not about how much input I give or how much input these people give you when they're on stage. What it actually is an outcome. See, I'm an outcome coach. What I care about is not this and the working out. This is what I care about, the outcome. How are you going to get to that? That's why I do this. I show you the resolutions, the easiness of how it can be. And I'm hoping you grab that and take it in and run with it, because the whole point of what we do. So yeah, I try and outcome this. It's the only way to do anything is to actually physically do it. It's what at the end of this video, I hope that some of you or most of you are thinking, yeah, I can do that. That's not that hard, and that means I've done my job well. Cool. So our target is 600,000. How are we going to do that? So we have got through here, sorry, at the back of my head, but I'm going to just write on here. So stylist station is about 120. Now we worked out that's roughly about, I think we worked out about 2,500 is what they achieved in 2016. And what we're actually asking for now is 2,800. 300 a week difference for stylist A. It's not so big. Stylist B through there did about 100,000, which is about 283, and 2,375 is what we're asking her to do. The same with C through here. With C last year they did about 2,916. We're looking at 3,250. And stylist D through here, or therapist D, they did 2,708, and we want 3,125. And the other two respectively would just be, how did I get these figures? It's quite simple. I got my end goal, which I'm going to reverse engineer, and I just divided the 23%, because that's what percentage they're earning of the moment, of my new figure, and that's what they gave me, this new figure. So what I would do, because that now what we've done now is we've just sort of created and maths. That's about it. What really is when you take stylist A to one side and you say to stylist A or therapist A, look, we are looking to hit about 600,000 this year. This is our goal for the year. And they won't even see the small picture, they'll just see the big picture. When you say to them, well, what we're asking you to do is because you earn 23% of what normally comes in, that's where you sit. You normally do about 2,500. Now, the stylist and the therapist will know if they're good that they do about 2,500. And you're going to say to them, throughout the year, we're aiming for 2.8. And I'm going to give you the tools of showing new systems that are going to make us hit that number. I may do a price increase to have that number. I may give you some more training so you're better qualified to upsell, as in better services, more complicated color, or more complicated therapies that you're actually going to do. And we're going to try and aim for 2.8. Do you think that's acceptable? I mean, don't forget 2.8. This is a week through here. And if they're working 5 days a week, that 300 that's through there is actually divided by 5 days. I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, you're talking of 60. 60 extra a day. I mean, for some people, that literally is just a couple of products nowadays. It's not a lot to get that sort of figure, but you need to work on it. So what you do is you speak to the stylist and you ask them, can you do that for me? And they'll go yes, or they'll go no, and you'll know where you stand. And then every 90 days, which is what you should be doing, you should be planning to hit this every 90 days. So you should have, without fail, if you imagine this is the start here of your year and this is the end, you should be having milestones in here. So your first 90, you'll be checking to see where they've got. Have they got, 1/3, 1/4 of the way through hitting that figure? Don't forget, at the end of the year, you know how much they want to get. They're going to be up there with 120 plus 23%. That's going to be their new big target. And that's what you need to do, is break that down into such small, biteable, either weekly or daily amounts. And then you have to track it. And you have to keep them. It's a bit like running a marathon. You need to keep them and say, hey, you're at zone 1, you're on track, you're on for your personal best, we're going that way. Now, you can give them a financial reward for this if you want to, or whatever you come up with. I know some people took their whole team to Expo and paid for some events, and that's what was part and parcel of what it was. We had a great one where we sort of put marbles into a jar, and at the end of the year we pulled it out, and if your color came out, we sent you around the world. I mean, these are big targets, but I mean, look at this, we are talking 80,000. It's very achievable. And then of course next year you stick another 80 on. Now you're doing 680. And don't forget, these two here are starting to get qualified. That's how you grow your business. You got to picture the big picture, reverse engineer how you're going to hit that by, that A takes 23%, B takes 90%, C takes 26%, and so on. How do we get these percentage? We just divided this by the amount, and that gave me a percentage. And that percentage tells me that she takes 23%. And this guy here takes 26%. He's my biggest earner. I've got to be nice to him. He takes 140,000. 26% of now the 60,000. The percentages work out really well. You know that he normally does that much, so he's now got to do an extra 300. Again, it's pretty easy to do through there, which is not too bad. So the name of the game is, can you get that to break that down? Thank you. Can you re-engineer this section through here? 1 second. I'd say early in the morning for me. I've been up and out for quite early, and I've just had a nice little coffee break, which is good. Hot as well. So our name of the game is, can you think of the big dream, the big picture? Let's go for it this year. But now is the time. You have 10 days to get this sorted. You have 10 days to get these figures and a plan of action. It's not just going to happen on the 1st of July. It's not just going to happen. So if you're in Australia, we know it's our first financial year. Now we should be tidying up what we need to get sorted. You should be booking an hour out at least to get rid of all the rubbish that you need to get rid of at the end of the year. So on July 1, you call a meeting. What I do is I call a 2-hour meeting. I pay for breakfast. We sit there. We talk about this big picture. I actually get a whiteboard in my salon and I do this for them. And I have these as names and I tell them exactly what we're after. Hey guys, this is what we're going to do this year. Thanks. We hit target, or if this is your first time, we need this. Now I want to know as a low level coal face person. So we're talking as your stylist here. To hit this big figure, they need to know one thing, and they will hit it if they know this one thing. Okay? It's not a secret. It's why you want to hit it. If they believe your story of why you want to hit it, they will follow you on your journey. But you've got to come up with a reason why you suddenly want to hit 600,000. Telling them you want to buy a boat, a car, or a house is not going to do it. And most owners I know aren't in it for the money like that. Most owners I know want to share the wealth. But you need to know why. They need to know why. Why? Why do you want to do that? I tell you my why. When I used to sit here and do that and tell them my why, I used to tell them that I wanted to be the best salon in my area. I actually wanted to have the best training courses using the best products with the best furniture and the best staff. And all that costs money to be the best. You've got to put an advertising campaign together. You've got to make sure the staff are paid well. We had good bonuses. We had a really good looking salon. It all costs money. All costs money. And to really be that person, you have to have a big lift. You've got to keep yourself up there, to do that. And to be honest, hitting them sort of figures is what makes the difference. I hope that's really resonated with you guys, and I hope that's made a bit of a difference, because now is the time for action. It's not the time for just being entertained or enjoying this video. It's actually, you should be sitting down now and planning this out for a whole year. I mean, we're talking this time next year, and the one thing that happens here is time we're really poor of, and it goes so fast. When we blink, it's going to be October, and we blink again, it's going to be Christmas, and you're halfway through the year, and then you've got a quiet month, and you've got the doldrums in there. Before you know it, we're going to be standing here a year from now, and you're going to go, didn't do it again. You need to find out where that big dream is and how you're going to get there. This path, this journey that you're going to be on, how do you know you're on the right journey? Have you got the milestones in place? Do you know where you want to be this time next year? It doesn't have to be complicated or big and massive. Just needs to have a plan and how many steps it takes to get there. Cool. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's really give you a zip, a punch. I'm sorry I went off topic, but I hope it gives you a zip to say, what, I'm going to do this. I want this to happen. Cool, guys. Catch you later.